Dale Vince has been in the news again after publishing a Giga Poll. I tell you what, I've seen polls. This is a big poll. This is the mama of all polls, hence a Giga Poll, which claims that Nigel Farage's divisive rhetoric, I'm quoting here, is beginning to lose support. However, the poll still leaves Farage ahead of Labour, and after finding out the poll has been done by Hope Not Hate and the TUC, many would say it's not surprising that the poll is gunning for the Reform leader. Let's speak to the man behind it, Dale Vince, founder of Ecotricity. Dale, good afternoon to you. How are you enjoying? I know you love a bit of a conference vibe. Sometimes you get kicked out of them, sometimes you can't get into them, but this one you are well and truly ensconced.
Yeah, and I'm liking the new moniker, right? Chief Cheerleader. Not heard that one before, so
yeah,
thank you for that one.
It's all right. You're all right with that, though, aren't you?
Yeah, love it.
Nothing wrong with
love
that. So listen,
enjoying the conference.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, there's a lot going on there. Big speeches. We've heard some of it, and of course, it comes against the backdrop of this. I mean, I said this is the sort of mother of all polls, really. I mean, people do polls of 1,000 people, or 1,200, or 2,000 people. You went a bit bigger on this one.
Yeah, we went crazy. We went nearly 50,000 people, 80 questions deep as well, and I don't know how anybody could be bothered to answer 80 questions in a poll. I don't think I could be, but thank them for doing it. We wanted a picture of the complete country. We wanted to know what Britain really thinks about a whole range of issues. I think we had 19 topics within the 80 questions, and we went across a load of different constituencies, of course, all demographics and stuff like that. It's meant to be a picture of what Britain really thinks, and we think that it is.
And was the idea, Dale, to look at, you know, what people really think as distinct from what you might read on social media or hear on radio phone-in programmes? Was that the kind of motivation here?
Yeah. It was kind of partly motivated by my own feelings that I didn't like the narrative from the right-wing media, from people like Farage and obviously Tommy Robinson and that kind of stuff. They were painting a picture of our country, what our country's like, what our friends and neighbours are like, what our people are like. And I thought, I don't believe that's right. I don't see it in my life. And it would be really interesting to see if the British people feel the same about immigration, about net zero and a whole range of issues. And the big answer we got back was they don't feel the same. Nigel Farage is a populist out of touch with the population.
So that's interesting because, I mean, every poll that we read at the moment puts Nigel Farage ahead and the man that's likely to become the next Prime Minister. That's been the case for some time now. What is it you discovered in your poll about Nigel Farage and reform?
Well, I think being ahead in the polls is a different thing to being on message, to representing the feelings, the views of the British people. We found that he doesn't, but he's ahead in the polls for different reasons, I would say. You know, look, we came off the back of 15 years of Tory misrule. Labour got a landslide at the last election. We all gave it to them because we were fed up, and as part of that, we expected big change, and we didn't get it. And people are really doubly fed up now, and I think that's why he's ahead in the polls. People are like, oh, Jesus, you know, Labour was supposed to change things, and I can't see any change. And it's like a protest vote, a massive protest vote. I don't think it will hold until the next election, but it's up to Labour now to get out and do stuff to change people's lives so they can see it and feel it before that happens.
So, no, there are cynics out there who'll say, hang on, come on, Dale, you're a proud left-winger. You got into bed with the TUC and Hope Not Hate. What results did you think you were going to get?
Well, they didn't fill in the forms, they didn't give the answers.
True.
They just helped organise the ground game to reach people. And it's people that are telling us the answers, not the TUC, not Hope Not Hate. They're all good people. I mean, I am a bit left-wing, but this is the genuine poll of an enormous number of people about what they think about 19 topics, 80 questions deep. Honestly, that's why we called it the Giga Poll. It's nothing before it came near.
And it also went into things like satisfaction with the NHS and stuff like that.
Yeah, we found that NHS was actually top of the concern list of the population of Britain. That's no big surprise. All polls find that, actually. But we found that a wealth tax was number 3, and that is really interesting. Rachel Reeves today, ahead of her speech, she said she didn't think that we needed a standalone wealth tax, and I was disappointed to hear that. Then I realised that standalone is wriggle room, so we'll see, maybe we can still have something in the budget. But that's out of touch with the voters, actually. 40% of voters in our country want a wealth tax, and it was the number 3 policy that they would have implemented if they could.
It's interesting, and in terms of the kind of world we live in, Dale, multiculturalism came out very positively from this poll.
Yeah, it did. So the picture being painted is, you know, we're intolerant people, we're overrun with immigrants, we think badly of foreigners and people that don't speak our language and all of that kind of stuff. The picture that comes out from the poll is quite the opposite. People like to be in a multicultural country. They do feel secure in their homes and in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. We understand that immigration has benefits. We just want to see it controlled. And I think that's all very understandable.
I called you the net zero. Well, in fact, Finn, our producer, wrote that line, which I thought was quite tasty. The net zero chief cheerleader. The poll did get into. Oh, was it Damien that wrote it? Sorry, Damien, one of our other producers. I apologise. In terms of that area, your poll did look at people's response to environmental issues too.
Yeah, I just got the last part of that, so I think I know where you're coming from. 51% of people polled said that net zero was important to hit. It was important for them, their families, their children and children's children and that kind of stuff, so they got it. We have to hit net zero. 49% of people said, but we're worried we can afford it. And that's really understandable as well, because the recent narrative from the right-wing media in particular is that we can't afford net zero, and there's a false narrative. It's not true. We can't afford not to have. It's cheaper to have green energy than fossil fuels. They're painted a different picture. What that poll shows is the cut-through of the right-wing narrative, the impact on people's opinions, because it's brand new that people now think we can't afford net zero. I say brand new, 6 to 12 months, something like that.
My old nan would have said, drill, baby, drill, Dale.
Your old nan would have said a lot of things, right? I don't think she'd have said that.
So nothing in the poll to suggest that the kind of more reform UK way of dealing with our energy crisis is to get real and start looking at oil, the North Sea and other areas.
But the thing about the North Sea that not enough people know is that it's been in decline since 1999. Production has been in decline for 25 years. It's nearly empty. There's 10% left of what we originally had back in the 70s, so we can't get energy security from it. We let global markets set the price of it, so we can't even use it to bring our bills down. It's got nothing for us. There's about 150,000 jobs in the sector now, and what I say is that we should protect those jobs with something called a contract for difference, which we use in green energy to support new projects. Use it in the North Sea, keep the jobs, keep the industry for the last 10 years of its life to see it out in a kind of sensible, grown-up way. And these are the facts that you won't hear from Reform.
And in terms of the conference itself, you are a Labour man, Dale. You're a big donor of the party. What are you looking forward to most, or have you already seen it? And I'm not talking about the hospitality.
I was going to say, I'm off for a beer after this. I have to say I'm looking forward to that. But look, it's fun here. There's a great vibe. There's all kinds of people with all kinds of issues, you know, their own campaigns and stuff like that. I really love being here. I heard Rachel Reeves' speech today. There was really, I would say, not much in it. I think that'll all come from the budget in November. There's some talk about some kind of hit squad for COVID-era corruption. There's about £100 billion of money that we need to chase. But really, there was not much more than that. Keir Starmer's big speech is tomorrow. I think we'll hear more of his new kind of new position that he's taking against division and for kind of unity and fixing what's wrong with our country. I think those are important positions, but I'm not sure that we're going to hear a lot of big new policies at this conference. I think they might come in 2 months' time at the budget.
Are you a bit disappointed, Dale? I mean, you mentioned that you didn't hear anything about a wealth tax with Rachel Reeves, something that you've advocated. You support the idea of a wealth tax, even though you'd be one of the ones that would be paying it, but nothing from the Chancellor, and it seems Keir Starmer's probably not going to go there either.
Well, I still think there's hope in the budget, because the words she used were she didn't see the need for a standalone wealth tax. Now, I don't know what that quite means, but that might leave some room for some taxes on some wealth, so that'd be nice to see. I mean, generally, I'm a little bit disappointed. Yes, we still have a 2-child limit, a benefit cap, which I think is terrible. It's a really cruel, spiteful policy with no upside. Rachel Reeves told an anecdote of being at a breakfast club with a child up north somewhere, and how impactful it was for that kid to have, you know, a simple breakfast, some toast, some juice and stuff like that, and how good it was. And I just kind of think to myself, but what about the 3 children in a family that are on benefits? Why aren't Labour doing something about that? So I hope and I pray that they will, in this budget, finally lift that cap.
We will see. Dale, listen, I know there's lots to get through there in the next 24 hours. Thanks for being with us, Dale Vince.